The News4Jax I-team is working to get answers after a Jacksonville homeowner says squatters move into her rental property and never left. They say they were victims of a rental scam. I-team investigator Ann Maxwell joining us after speaking with both sides. Ann?
Joy, the women staying at the house insist they have every right to be there. Meanwhile, the homeowner tells us it's been frustrating and costly trying to get them out. She says it's cost nearly $5,000 in legal fees so far.
You have to leave.
I own
You
this house.
have to leave, according to the police.
That's a confrontation between Patty Peoples and two women living in her house who are not identifying.
They're living their best life in my home illegally without any payment.
Peoples says she put this Hogan's Creek house on the market in February after her longtime tenant moved out.
We had an offer that we were ready to accept.
She says she became suspicious when she found dogs at the house and a car parked in the backyard.
I was going to enter the house, and then it dawned on me that there could be individuals in there and that might be placing myself at some danger.
There were two women inside claiming they were renting the property. According to the incident report from JSO, one of them said they found the property on Zillow and reached out. She said the pair signed a rental lease and provided a copy of that and a deposit receipt to the officer. She told police she wasn't able to get in touch with the person who had rented them the house. When we called their number listed on the police report, the person told us we had the wrong number. Zillow shows no records of the house being listed for rent around that time. According to the incident report, when the officer asked one of the women for the communications with the alleged scammer, she began to rush and said she didn't have time to continue. People said the officer told her the women in her house have rights under Florida law. They're allowed to stay there for at least 20 days until a judge declares them to be in default.
Your police report states this is under investigation. So with that being said, we don't have to leave anything until the police comes back and tell us what would be the
I have every
decision.
right to be in this house.
Peoples is suing to get them out. A civil court clerk signed a default judgment against them. But Peoples says it doesn't become official until a judge signs it.
It's now been 23 days.
You have to leave, according to the police. You have to leave.
The responding officer wrote a search of that woman's name, revealed she was listed as a victim in a fraud scheme with the exact same circumstances in December at another house nearby. According to a report for that incident, the two women were also living in that house without the owner's knowledge or permission. Less than a week later, the out-of-state company that owns the property filed an eviction notice against an unknown occupant who they say had illegally taken possession of the property. Records show the eviction was finalized in mid-February. A neighbor says the women moved out at the beginning of this month. Around the same time, they moved into Peoples' house.
You are touching me, and this lady is touching me.
We're blocking you from coming in the house.
You
because
are.
you're doing too much.
We were able to get in touch with one of those women on the phone today. She became combative when we asked her about the police reports and whether she was squatting. She insisted she was scammed. Live in Jacksonville, Ann Maxwell, Channel 4, the local station.